Here we are on the corner of Falcon and Miller Streets, Crow's Nest, at North Sydney Boys High School. And you can see behind here the beautiful and symbolic crest with those famous Latin words, "Vincat qui se vincat," known as "Wink at those who wink at you" by all members of the school community. So who are you?
Who am I? I'm Tim Donahoo, class of 1978 and president of the old Falconians Union.
But only for the last 15 years.
Not quite that long, Rodney, but since 2002 I've been very privileged to hold the job, and I do love it.
You do a great job.
Thank you.
I'm Rodney Marks. I was the president of the SRC in 1975, and I've done nothing of value to society since. And you are?
Lokesh Varma, class of 94. I remember the most memorable memory about school was being part of the environmental action group. That's before recycling became a buzzword, and we were all into the green movement.
Being a 12 to 18-year-old student anywhere, but especially at a school for supposedly intellectual kids, meant that our exercises in misbehaviour or naughtiness were perhaps more adventurous or maybe more clumsy than so-called normal kids. So when we nicked off, we probably didn't take the whole day off, we just took the odd class or two off. And when we smoked illegal substances, it was probably something as banal as tobacco in the alley beside the gymnasium. It was pretty brutal, really. I'm pleased that none of my children grew up in the era of corporal punishment. I can remember being caned by a very tall art teacher who had trouble focusing on very small boys, 12-year-olds who were misbehaving, Mr. Haney, and you know, he wasn't cruel or anything like that. He was just doing what teachers did in those days. Were either of you, Lokesh or Tim, caned?
Only the once, Rodney. I can remember Laurie Woods, who was deputy head at the time, had a very strong swing and didn't miss on the occasion that I was brought before him, and that was my one and only occasion. Lesson learned very well.
And Lokesh?
In my time there was no caning. It's only paperwork and detentions that we had to deal with.
I remember a comedy review from the early 1970s with an hilarious title based in part on our wonderful emblem here. It was called "How Falcon You Get." I also remember the pedantry and the brilliance and the attention to detail, grammar and syntax of our wonderful English teacher, Barry Manton, who would have been appalled by the lack of an apostrophe here after boys.
So we're trying to roll out a new website that all our members can use. It'll be launched on the 23rd of July, so keep your eyes out for that.
Next year, 2012, is the centenary of North Sydney Boys. And what's planned, Tim?
Oh, it's a significant year, Rodney. We've got a tremendous program of events on the program for next year. The launch of the centenary history, which will be in February. The highlight of the year will be 28th of July, where we come back to Falcon Street for the day and then all head into town to the Western Hotel for the gala centenary dinner, which you'll be the MC. So it's going to be a great night, and other events, the musical events and other activities throughout the year. All the details on the Falconians website, so look in, check it out.
The old Falconians Union currently has 750 members, and we're aiming by the end of 2011 to have 1,000. Going into the centenary year, that'll be terrific. So join up, look back with nostalgia and reflect on your time here with much pleasure. Join up today.